We all know Kendrick Lamar as the karma to Drake since the beginning of 2024, but as fascinating as this beef has been, this is not what this is about. No, we're not discussing rap battles, but expensive things, because while Kendrick keeps it low, he has splurged on a few things. And these things aren't your over-the-counter items, like his $3 million crown of thorns. You know how rappers love chains and grills? Well, Kendrick prefers crowns made of 8,000 diamonds. Some say that the price might have been a bit overstated, but one thing is sure, this piece is not exactly something you'd grab off the clearance rack at your local jewelry store. But let that sit with you, because we're diving into it all. From multi-million-dollar mansions to supercars, here are stupidly expensive things Kendrick Lamar owns. By the way, if you like videos like this and would love to see more like it, then go ahead and give us a like and subscribe below. Let's start with Kendrick Lamar's real estate portfolio, while keeping in mind that in the world of rap beefs, property values get dragged into the ring. First up, we've got his childhood home in Compton. A modest 3-bedroom, 2-bath setup spanning 1,200 square feet. It's cozy, functional, and fun fact, it's famous. It graced the cover of Bad Kids Chill City. Imagine trying to casually explain to your neighbors that your little house is basically a hip-hop landmark. Oh, the guy next door? Yeah, just Kendrick Lamar, no big deal. And we've got his Brooklyn Heights triplex. This $8.6 million masterpiece spans 3,140 square feet, with 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms, 18-foot ceilings, and reclaimed heartwood pine floors. Reclaimed wood. That's bougie for expensive but eco-friendly. And let's not forget the floor-to-ceiling windows and 2,000 square feet of outdoor space, complete with a private rooftop terrace overlooking the East River. Honestly, the views alone are worth a diss track or two. And with neighbors like Ed Sheeran and Amy Schumer, you know it's fancy. Though something tells me Kendrick probably only pretended to laugh at her jokes just to keep the peace of the neighborhood. Now, before he was sipping champagne on rooftops, Kendrick started with something a little more low-key. Back in Eastvale, California, he bought his first home for $523,000. It's a solid 3,529 square foot, 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom slice of suburbia. But then Kendrick decided modest living was for his early career, and in 2019, he dropped $9.7 million on a Manhattan beach pad. This 3-story stunner boasts 5,350 square feet and balconies with dreamy ocean views. Imagine writing Grammy-winning lyrics while staring at the Pacific. That's an upgrade if I've ever heard of one. He even listed his Eastvale starter home for a little over $800,000, which is like trading in your first car after hitting the lottery. Now let's talk Calabasas, where the rich and famous flock like seagulls to french fries. Kendrick dropped $2.65 million on a 4-bedroom home. It's got a pool, spa, and a massive office that's probably never seen a single TPS report. Word on the street is, this place isn't even for Kendrick, it's for his family. Because when you're that successful, even your relatives need a mansion. Now let's talk about the crown jewel of Kendrick's real estate empire. Well, until recently. His $15.9 million Bel Air estate. This isn't just a house, it's a statement piece. Designed by the legendary Edward Fickett, this 1951 build blends traditional charm with modern flair, sitting on 3/4 of an acre. With 8,000 square feet of living space, a main house, a 2-story guest house, glass walls, light red brick accents, and skylights, it's like Architectural Digest had a field day. Sure, the Bel Air estate is very impressive, but when you're competing with someone who owns $100 million worth of real estate featuring NBA-grade basketball courts, also known as Champagne Poppy, you need to come up with a bigger game. So, in 2024, Kendrick reportedly dropped a jaw-dropping $40 million on a Brentwood mega mansion. It's 16,000 square feet of pure, I'm richer than your wildest dreams, complete with a gym, wine cellar, pool, and even a guest house. Because when you're Kendrick Lamar, your entourage doesn't crash on the couch, they get their own house. From a Compton classic to a $40 million palace, it's clear Kendrick's not just humble, the man's also got excellent taste in zip codes. Back in the day, Kendrick's ride was probably his 2 feet in the local bus, but fast forward a few years, and the man's pulling up in some of the most classic cars we have ever seen. In fact, if cars could talk, we're pretty sure Kendrick Lamar's cars would be bragging non-stop about their owner. From sleek, modern rides to vintage classics, Kendrick's collection is a masterclass in having the right taste when it comes to cars. Let's start with the 2017 BMW i8, the car that looks like it time traveled from 2050 to bless us mere mortals. This thing has butterfly doors that make getting in feel like entering a spaceship. With its hybrid engine and 357 horsepower, it's fast, eco-friendly, and ridiculously cool. Like the Elon Musk of cars, but without the tweets. It can hit 60 miles per hour in 4.2 seconds, which is about how long it takes Kendrick to drop a bar that makes your head spin. With a price tag of around $140,000, it's safe to say this car is no joke. Plus, it's eco-friendly, so Kendrick's saving the planet and looking cool while doing it. Next up, the Mercedes G-Wagon. Because what's a celeb garage without one of these bad boys? Kendrick's G-Class is all about rugged luxury, kind of like hiking and Gucci boots. And rumors have it that the car has been spotted in public during a casual traffic stop. Because even Kendrick Lamar isn't immune to the universal license and registration, please. Again, rumors, but it's our guess that with a twin-turbo V8 under the hood, we're guessing the G-Wagon didn't linger long at that red light. As you know, one SUV is never enough, so Kendrick also went for the Range Rover Sport, the SUV that balances luxury and performance like it's walking a tightrope. Need to tackle some rugged terrain, or just make a smooth exit from an award show? This ride's got you covered. With a 340 horsepower V6 engine and a comfy interior, it's as versatile as Kendrick's discography. Plus, with a top speed of 130 miles per hour, it's perfect for escaping paparazzi, or, rush hour traffic. Of course, even Kendrick knows that classics never go out of style, which is why he owns a 1964 Chevrolet Impala. This car is more than just a ride, it's a vibe. If this car were a person, it would be your old grandpa with hearing aids who wears sunglasses indoors and calls everyone kid. With its roomy interior and timeless design, it's also the kind of ride that makes you the envy of every car collector on the block. And the value of these babies can rise as much as up to $150,000. Sure, it takes a leisurely 13.5 seconds to hit 60 miles per hour, but when you're driving an Impala, you're not in a hurry. The journey is the destination. Kendrick also owns a 1992 Cadillac Seville, which is, by the way, his very first car. This ride holds sentimental value and proves that even when Kendrick was just starting out, his taste in cars was on point. The $30,000 vehicle is all about class and comfort, like a rolling VIP lounge. With its plush interior and 5.7-liter V8 engine, and a top speed of 122 miles per hour, it's not the fastest car in Kendrick's collection, but hey, sometimes slow and steady wins the race, or at least looks good doing it. And with 200 horsepower, it's got enough pep to keep things interesting. Speaking of Cadillacs, let's not forget the 1990 Cadillac Brougham. With a 5.7-liter V8 engine, it's got enough power to make you feel like a boss, even if you're just headed to the drive-thru for a late-night snack. Price tag? Around $8,000. Could get up to $30,000 at auction though. Now let's talk looks, because when you're a celebrity, you need to at least look the part. We'll start with watches, because what's a rap icon without a wrist game? Kendrick's watch collection may not be massive, but it's razor focused. His go-to? The Rolex Day-Date. The presidential classic, timeless, and get this, the Day-Date isn't just a watch, it's the watch. When it debuted in 1956, it became an instant status symbol, favored by everyone from presidents to apparently humble rappers. This piece is a stunner, a yellow gold case, a champagne dial, and a bracelet, and Kendrick even flaunted it in the Poetic Justice music video. While Rolex is Kendrick's go-to, and we don't really see him flaunting other brands, you just know that his collection isn't limited to one brand. But let's face it, when your casual choice is a gold Rolex, you're already winning. And then let's get to the jewel, shall we? Kendrick doesn't just wear jewelry, he wears curated pieces. For instance, during his 2017 Damn tour, Brooklyn-based jeweler Martine Ali had Kendrick looking like a punk rock demigod with her industrial-inspired designs. And Martine Ali is a genius at turning old school classics like ID bracelets and wallet chains into modern masterpieces. And let's not forget Taryn Thomas, another New York gem. Pun very well intended. Kendrick's go-to from this collection is the Archie ring, a barrel-faced signet ring with a tiger's eye crystal so mesmerizing it could hypnotize you mid-track. And you're wondering where you've seen it before. That was what he was sporting in his iconic Humble and DNA music videos. Fun fact, no two tiger eye stones are alike, meaning Kendrick's ring is as one of a kind as his discography. But Kendrick's flair for jewelry doesn't stop at modern minimalism. Oh no. There's Han Cholo, an LA-based brand with a penchant for sci-fi, fantasy, and rock and roll vibes. Kendrick rocked their Medusa ring, a 24-karat gold-plated masterpiece inspired by the snake-haired Greek monster. It's the kind of ring that can start a conversation or, turn someone to stone, metaphorically speaking. Now I know what you're thinking. That's it? No chains that spell out Kung Fu Kenny and diamonds or grills with LED lights? Okay, fair point. Compared to other rappers, Kendrick's jewelry collection might sound, well, a little tame. But that's because my guy was playing the long game. He was saving up for the piece. The pièce de résistance, the showstopper. Enter the crown of thorns, which costs a jaw-dropping $3 million. Yeah, we've mentioned that before, but hold on and let that price tag marinate for a second. This crown isn't your average Sunday school arts and crafts project either. It took 4 artisans, 10 months, and a mind-blowing 1,300 hours to create. That's more time than it takes to watch every season of The Simpsons. Made in collaboration with Tiffany & Co. because, of course, it features a high-polished titanium base, 8,000 hand-set diamonds in a cobblestone pattern totaling 137 carats, and 50 handcrafted thorns. The design was inspired by Jean Schlumberger's thorn brooch from 1947, but Kendrick turned it up to 11 and made it his own. It's not just jewelry, it's a flex, a statement, and possibly the world's fanciest headache all rolled into one. The crown debuted on the cover of Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, and has since made appearances at some of Kendrick's performances. It's more than just a ridiculously expensive accessory, it's a symbol of humility and artistic genius. Basically, let's just say it is Kendrick in jewelry form. And honestly, when you've got a piece like that, who even needs a collection of chains spelling out your name? For me, that one crown beats 20 chains any day of the week. Besides, can you even imagine someone trying to rob this thing? Hey buddy, drop a $3 million crown and nobody gets hurt. Yeah, right. And then there's his wardrobe collection. By now, you know that Kendrick Lamar is not the guy you know for pulling out all the stops when it comes to clothes. So when he said that he was going to start putting a little more effort into the way he looks, we actually sat up for that one. And let's be real, it's about time. I mean, for years, he's been the guy who let his lyrics do the flexing, sticking to hoodies, plaid shirts, and his trusty Nike Cortezes. But lately, the Pulitzer-winning rapper has traded his signature West Coast casual for a heavyweight wardrobe. One of the best moments was in 2022 during the Super Bowl halftime show, where Kendrick showed up in a custom-flared Louis Vuitton suit from Virgil Abloh's final collection. And since that moment, we can say that Kendrick wasn't playing it safe anymore. He's been spotted front row at Louis Vuitton, performing at their spring 2023 show in a tribute to Virgil Abloh. For his 2023 Grammy win, he opted for a head-to-toe Martine Rose ensemble, blending subtlety with sophistication. Then there's that Tiffany & Co. crown of thorns, a bold accessory that appeared on the cover of Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Kendrick isn't just dressing up, he's turning every outfit into a statement. And then there's this Met Gala moment where he skipped the red carpet chaos but still made a splash in Chanel, a quilted leather car coat paired with loose trousers and a Dodger starter cap customized with Chanel's double C logo. It's a kind of look that turns heads without trying too hard. And who could forget his Rolling Loud appearance in Miami, where he brought Rick Owens to the stage and made it look effortless. Even the Grammy look, a deceptively normal shell jacket and slacks, was elevated by the fact that it was all Martine Rose. So why the recent wardrobe change? Well, we got to point to the Hillbilly song, where he declares that he's the best dressed moving forward. And by the looks of it, he's not just tossing out empty boasts. The guy is staking a serious claim. So let's talk about Kendrick Lamar's rise to fame. Come on, you knew we were going to get here eventually, right? Yeah, you've probably seen his name plastered all over headlines lately, mostly because of this never-ending beef with Drake and Not Like Us breaking all the records. But let's not get it twisted. Kendrick's not just some guy riding the drama train for clicks. He's been in the game for years, and he has his awards and records to prove it. Let's start with the obvious. 17 Grammys.
And the Grammy goes to Pimp a Butterfly, Kendrick Lamar.
17 out of 57 nominations. That's more than some people have shoes in their closet. And it's not like they hand those out for free at the door. Kendrick earns every one of those shiny little statues by doing what he does best, dropping bars so heavy, they should come with a gym membership. And then there's a Pulitzer Prize. You know, the one they usually reserve for fancy writers and serious journalists. Yeah, Kendrick waltzed right in and became the first rapper to snag one for his album Damn in 2018.
The citation for the Pulitzer Prize in Music, Distinguished Musical Composition by an American, awarded to Damn by Kendrick Lamar.
I mean, a Pulitzer Prize for rap? You know you're doing something right when your lyrics are analyzed in college classes while kids scribble K. His life in their notebooks. So yeah, beef or no beef, Kendrick's legacy is already grilled to perfection. But how did it all begin? Well, the young rapper's story is like the ultimate rags to riches fairy tale. Except instead of a fairy godmother, he had raw talent, pen, and Compton as his backdrop. It was simply a young Kendrick Duckworth. Yep, that's his real last name, try not to quack up. Growing up in the heart of Compton, California. And despite the struggles of street life, gang violence, and poverty, little Kendrick had something important. An ear for music and a mind for storytelling. Legend has it, 8-year-old Kendrick witnessed Tupac and Dr. Dre filming the music video for California Love in his neighborhood and got hooked on the rap game. Most of us at 8 were busy trying to color inside the lines or figuring out how many cookies we could eat without getting caught. Kendrick, he was soaking in West Coast rap history like a sponge. That moment planted a seed, and little did he know, he'd eventually grow into one of the greatest rappers of all time. Fast forward a few years, and Kendrick wasn't just dreaming about rap, he was living it. He dropped his first mixtape, Youngest Head in Charge, at 16. By that age, most teens are busy deciding which snack to sneak into class. But Kendrick was out here trying to break into the music industry. Spoiler alert, it worked. That tape caught the attention of Top Dog Entertainment, and they signed him faster than you can say Section 80. Kendrick didn't just become famous overnight though. Nah, the man worked.
Code of the streets 549. And only thing can come between that is a unibrow. You are now tuned in.
He put out mixtapes, sharpened his skills, and built his name like a contractor with a dream. When his major label debut album, Good Kid, Mad City, dropped, the world collectively lost its mind. Who was this kid from Compton spinning tales about growing up in a world of temptation, violence, and survival, all while sounding cooler than the other side of the pillow? The album wasn't just music, it was a cinematic masterpiece. If rap had Oscars, Kendrick would have swept them. And let's not forget the money, because after all, that is what we're interested in. Kendrick went from counting change to get gas to counting stacks to buy a new Lambo. He's now one of the richest rappers in the game, with endorsements, album sales, and sold-out tours, all racking up to a net worth of $140 million and still counting. There's the Big Steppers Tour, which earned a total revenue of almost $111 million across 73 shows and held the record of the highest grossing rap tour of all time, till it got surpassed by Travis Scott's Circus Maximus tour. But Kendrick knows how to give it all back. The guy hasn't forgotten his roots, which means he's constantly giving back to his community. He donated $5,000 to his old high school, and while that might sound like a drop in the bucket for someone of his caliber, it probably funded a year's worth of vending machine snacks and pep rallies. And then there's a small matter of his entire 5-stop world tour proceeds going to Habitat for Humanity and the city of Compton. Yes, this man turned touring the globe into a charity event. Meanwhile, most of us feel accomplished after throwing our spare change into a tip jar. Let's not forget his donations to the Red Cross and his work advocating for racial equality and mental health awareness. They say it's lonely at the top, but Kendrick clearly missed that memo because he's bringing his people with him.